Special thanks to Toys and Things in Danvers, Massachusetts, Reaper Miniatures, Off the Wall Games in Hadley, Massachusetts, Games and Friends in Springfield, Massachusetts, as well as AAA Games Arena in Wilbraham, Massachusetts. If you enjoy the show, help the podcast grow. Give us a follow on Twitter at LordsBroken, join the community Discord, and maybe consider offering a small tribute to the old ones on our Ko-Fi. All these links and more can be found in our link tree at linktr.ee/thebrokenlords. Thank you.
There is blood spatter around that is not from the apes. There is the occasional chunk of white scaly flesh and tufts of fur. There's a lot of damage to like the low-lying shrubbery and stuff at the tree line.
Not to be gross, but is any of that stuff salvageable? All that fur and scaly shit.
Probably. A couple handfuls of fur aren't going to help you much. You can take it if you want.
Yeah.
There's a couple of big chunks of snakeskin. It theoretically has been out for a few hours. It might be safe to eat if you cook it.
Or wear later.
But we have all this dead ape.
Can't we
do
both?
have all that dead ape. But yeah, there's not even, like, when I say big chunks of the snakeskin, I mean, like, maybe fist size.
Oh, okay, okay.
Guess what tits are? Fist-sized. Unless you are amply blessed, which I am not. I run around too much.
You run around, you're too athletic for that.
Yeah.
Alright, so, yeah, you can gather up a couple of scraps of meat and some fur if that is your preference.
Yeah, and if there's like lines to tie it all together so it's easy to carry, perfect.
Yeah, sure. That'll only take a couple minutes to scramble something together like that. And Socks, give me a survival check to see if you can find that game trail. This would count as a hunting test, so actually I would reduce the difficulty on this for you, which means it's difficulty 0, so
Yay!
You can probably just succeed on this, unless you want to make the attempt to roll for it.
I'm gonna roll for
You
it.
get that sweet, sweet momentum.
Yeah, that's basically it. I want that momentum.
Roll for it.
2 dice.
2 dice.
2 success.
Oh, that juicy, sweet momentum.
Jordan, could you please add that to the pot?
Yeah, you can juice those into the pool, or you could use one for the obtain information spend if you wanted to get more details.
Yeah, sure. I'll take one.
Okay, I'll adjust.
So the way this works is I'm going to tell you what you know for free, and then if you want to spend either of those momentum points on obtain information, it is 1 per, it's a repeatable spend, and you get to ask me a question, which I have to answer.
Okay. Well, Jordan, you can go ahead and add that until I decide whether or not to ask more questions.
Cool, understood.
Thanks, boss.
You can find several game trails. It looks to you like there are definitely some large animals that occasionally make their way up here, but most of the game trails are smaller animals in this zone. But they all are paths that lead down, presumably to that stream that Vega saw.
That does make sense. All creatures need to drink. I think actually I'm good. I'm good.
Okay.
We'll follow one of the larger game trails, just because I don't know if my companions are woodsy types, so I might make it a little bit easier for them by picking something slightly bigger.
This one naturally leads down to the east.
Towards the cavern area, okay.
Towards the pond, yes.
Pond, okay.
However, if you make it to the stream, you could theoretically just follow the stream to get to the falls, if that's what you really want to.
I'm personally fine following this for the time being.
You folks make your way down, following the game trail. Even with the game trail, the slope is steep, but there's a lot of roots, there's a lot of rocks, there's a lot of loose soil. It slows you down considerably as you move. All of you are like athletic and healthy individuals, so it's not like rough going for any of you. You just are definitely picking your way a little bit slow because nobody wants to sprain their ankle or anything.
I just want to keep an eye out and notice like what kinds of things are growing or stuck to trees or hanging from branches. So any particular plants that are stand out? Are there any mushrooms, lichens, Or just a casual glance at this point?
Because of the environment you're in right now, this is actually going to be a difficulty 0, a simple survival test.
Huh. Can I still roll to add successes?
If you want to, just remember complications are a potential thing. On success, no complications. You got damn close to a complication, but no.
You want me to juice the pot, or do you want to spend that momentum?
Yeah, I'll pay it forward now. Let's spend it.
Looking around, it is not even being familiar with these plants. There's a ton of stuff around here that you could probably use. From what you've read of some of these trees, the bark can be useful, the sap can be useful. Just generically, sap is useful. There's nice big leaves you could use as a base for a poultice. There's some flowers that you do actually recognize from some of the botanical gardens you've been to in your travels. There's some strange vine growing lilies that are coming off some of the trees. There's pitcher plants and things like that. There's all kinds of stuff as an herbalist that you could make use of. And you get the feeling if the terrain continues to be like this, it's going to be very easy for you to forage for useful materials.
Okay. Well, so that pitcher plants.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's exciting.
So yeah, unless you have a question, that momentum you generated will go in the pool.
Did I see any fruit?
Oh, okay, you did want a question. All right, nix that, Jordan. Do you see any fruit? Yes, looking up in the trees, you can find fruit here.
Are there any fruits Cull can reach? He's 7'2".
If Cull wants to climb, then yes, there's plenty of fruits that he can reach.
I'm gonna point it out.
All right, I'll grab a cup. I'll grab enough for all of us so we have something.
What did we get? What did we get? I'm so excited. What did we get?
As you're walking and Phaedra's pointing these things out, Cull, you're definitely looking at the stuff she's pointing at, and you're realizing that you're going to need to do some work to get the processing aspect of it down, but there's quite a bit of material you could make use of for your alchemy as well.
Good.
Oh my god. Are we Team Cauldron?
Effectively.
Yes.
We're Team Cauldron.
Cauldron. Oh,
I hate
God.
I hate it here. I no longer wish to be in this game.
It wasn't the tigers. It wasn't the giant snakes. It was the cauldron. All right,
Yep.
So yeah, there's all kinds of strange fruits that you don't even know how to identify them. You don't have names for them. Some are large, bulbous, prickly, and hard on the outside. There are some bright red ones with strange tufts on the bottom. There's kind of oblong and crescent moon shaped almost, and they're green. There's all kinds of stuff you could sample and try and figure out. And most of it's probably safe to eat. But
Probably.
with an alchemist and an herbalist in the party, you can probably figure out what's safe to eat and what's not. The terrain slowing you down as it is, it does take you almost an hour to get down to the stream.
That's fine.
The game trail, as I said, angles more and more sharply to the east as it goes, and when it comes out, there's a clearing around a pond that is maybe 40 or 50 feet across. It's like a half circle tied in against the cliff wall.
Mm-hmm.
And you look down at it and you see that it is quite deep. And I'm going to need another survival check from Octomer real fast.
Yeah.
This one is going to be a difficulty 2. You want to spend some momentum on it?
Well, my Homeland Hunter trait reduces... Yeah, I can reduce the difficulty for any survival test. Even if I'm not hunting.
We'll see. We'll say it's effectively a difficulty 1 on this.
Yeah.
It's hard to spot, but you live in a pretty dangerous place for similar reasons. So we'll say that your talent will apply here.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
No, I don't think I need to spend momentum. Only a chump would fail.
Oh, bro, don't
Don't do that to yourself.
Stop doing this.
Bada boom.
I hate it that you're right. I hate you, Socks. I hate you,
Bada
Socks.
bing, bada boom.
That's 3 successes.
I would like to point out that is he rolled a 4 for that critical because his threat range is 4, so that was exact critical.
That's 4 times the normal, isn't it?
Yep.
Yes, as it turns out.
I know.
maximum threat range is 5, so yeah, that's pretty good.
Wow.
I'm into it.
All right, so that is 3 successes. Now, I'm going to recommend maybe you don't put those in the pot just yet until I give you the information.
Yeah, hit me with it.
So you extrapolate the direction that the game trail is taking straight to the water, of course. As you said earlier, everything needs to drink.
Mm-hmm.
The soil becomes soft and muddy the closer it gets to the water.
Uh-oh.
And you can actually see that there are large trenches going down into the water, which are not erosion.
Interesting.
They're following the game trail pretty exactly. And you notice that there are a lot of these trenches around the perimeter of the water. Does that make you inquisitive in any way? Do you have any questions you might want to ask?
No, I definitely do on this one.
Got 2.
I'm assuming whatever's using the game trail probably ended up making the trenches. So I have many questions. I just don't know how I want to ask them.
Basically, when you use the obtain info spend,
Yeah.
if you ask me a question that there's no way that you could know the answer, I would just tell you, no, you got to ask me a different question than that. So
Okay.
there's no wrong questions for this, effectively.
All right.
There's no penalty for asking the wrong question, I should say.
That's fair. So, all right. Would a fair question be something like, is it safe to assume that whatever made those trenches probably lives in or underneath whatever this lake is?
It is certainly possible.
Okay. That's good to know. I know I picked one of the larger game trails. Are there any markings on any of the trees near where we just came out still on the game trail that might give away what exactly was following this?
So you follow like the largest runnel, like the largest trench back towards the tree line, examine the trees, and you kind of branch out from the trail a little bit left and right to try and see what you can see. And you notice that one of the other trajectory that would line up with one of the other trenches that goes down to the water, first of all, that trench looks a little bit fresher than the others.
Mm-hmm.
And second of all, you find some blood mixed in the mud.
Yeah, oh shit, I know what this is.
And you follow it down to the water line, and you find a handful of scales on your way down.
Fuck.
Yeah,
All right.
okay.
Oh,
Okay.
it's not pool day, is what you're saying.
All right.
Eats trip.
This isn't like a question I'm asking. This is just me kind of like talking out loud. My assumption right now is that whatever snake, quote unquote, saved us from the tiger last night, I'm pretty sure that it lives at the bottom of this pond, or at least on the other side. Admittedly, I haven't seen the other side, so I can't confirm or deny that either. But whatever it is, there are, I assume, at least a couple of those snakes living somewhere around here. So we might want to pack up and head to the waterfall.
Agreed.
Because if it pops out again tonight, admittedly, we have no idea how often these things pop out. That's going to be sad times for us.
Ricardo agrees.
We need to leave. That snake we saw last night, I'm going to point to one of those trenches. It is my belief that that snake made that mark.
Then Ricardo agrees, and we should leave right now.
Phaedra's
Yes.
smiling but nodding in complete agreement.
Come, we'll follow the water back to the west. We'll see if we have any luck towards the other wall.
The going is easier here, and it takes an hour to make your way across to where the waterfall is. And yeah, you get there, the water is pouring just out of a hole in the cliffside. Like there's a jagged opening, and the water is pouring out, spilling down, cascading over rocks into the stream bed. The stream itself is no more than shin deep at any point now that you've seen the whole thing, and it's never more than at worst 30 feet across.
Okay.
The majority of it was probably 5 or 10 feet across.
Okay.
So it's real crick hours out here.
Yes.
Excellent.
Yes.
Is the cliff face closed around the top of the waterfall too?
Yes, the walls of the valley are fairly sheer.
Mm-hmm.
There's not a lot of handholds or things like that. You can't quite say it's unnatural, but you can definitely say that none of you have seen a natural rock formation like that before. You don't recognize the kind of stone that the cliff face is made out of, but basically imagine like a mostly flat surface. It's got like ripples and variations in depth, but there is just like a small, maybe you could fit your head in it sized opening. And that's where the water is pouring out from.
Yeah, cool. Let me see that fruit you nicely gathered for us, please.
Sure.
Are any of them, like, hard? I'm looking for something like a coconut.
The one that's like prickly on the outside is got a fairly hard shell.
Cool. I choose you. I would like to borrow a flint knife, please.
I'll hand over the basic flint knife.
Okay. So, my aim is to score a break line first.
And then crack it open.
Exactly.
Alright, you crack the thing open. It smells kind of terrible, but
Oh no. Oh no. I bet it's a durian.
it's pretty fleshy on the inside.
I think I know what this type of fruit this is. Yeah, okay.
Oh boy.
Unfortunately, I think we all do. Speaking of attracting fucking unwanted guests to this area.
I am being vulgar. I'm checking it out. You know, like, what's it smell like? I taste a bit, like, with the tip of my finger. Is it...
It smells kind of horrible. The flavor isn't... It would take some getting used to. Let's put it that way. It's a strong flavor.
Alright, well, better than starving, I guess. So, I'm going to first take the tip of the flint knife, and almost like how you might approach a mango or an avocado, like, kind of score in the flesh, like make like square, like a grid mark.
Yeah.
That to help like create relief, so that when I scrape the fruit out of one side, it comes away fully or close to fully, I hope.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe now I have a bowl-ish thing with this empty half a fruit shell.
You should have asked. We have 2 ape skulls here. I'll scrape one clean for you tonight.
Oh my god.
Damn. Yeah, he's right though.
I flash out a sharp grin and say, I couldn't deprive you of the privilege of doing the task yourself, you know.
I just shrug.
You can definitely collect a little bit of water in that, certainly.
Take one down, pass it around.
Alright, so you gather some water for the party. Good on ya. And, like, while this is going on, even a small distance in, it's very loud in here. There's a lot of animal sounds, a lot of birds. Octomer and Cull are both pretty sure that they keep hearing noises that are at ground level and closer than they are comfortable with.
Welcome, listeners, to Russia in 1916.
I'm worried about my father. I'm concerned that there is a plot to end his life.
No matter who is asked, Rasputin is the root cause of Russia's problems.
This is damning evidence of some kind of conspiracy.
In just a few days, Rasputin will be murdered in one of the most infamous and poorly understood crimes in history.
At this point, everyone is a suspect.
Come on, everybody.
Let's break history.